Hello everybody, Crazy Llama here. Today we're going to be looking at r/entitled parents. So, I've seen a lot of people do this on YouTube, actually, and I just want to try it for once. So, we're going to read this first story. It's called No Lady, Finders Keepers Isn't a Real Thing. Alright, so let's go. Honestly, I was just writing this post makes my eyes and fingers hurt. The fact that it actually happen makes me want to vomit every time I think about it. So I don't want to start with a little backstory. About 3 years ago, I was 15 at the time. 2 friends and myself went on a small camping trip. The area we went to was about a mile away from a farmer's market and came every other Friday. Several of the booths were there sold outdoorsy stuff. I can't read. One guy even sold both homemade and antique knives. Being the teens that we were, and still are, we decided to visit it. Personally, I wanted to buy my grandfather a knife and engrave his name into it. I didn't get to see him a lot, but his birthday was coming up and I knew he collects antique weapons, World War II guns, knives, etc. So, after a short butt of convincing my dad, I went camping with my friends so I could shop the next day. Friday came, my friends and I walked to the market. After blowing a couple of bucks on food, I went to check out the cutlery. That's it, cutlery. My friends took off to check out some other stuff while I shopped. After a few minutes, I managed to find the perfect knife. It was a large, curved combat knife with rainbow steel blade and an oak wooden handle, as well as a leather sheath. It cost me about $60, worth it. I put the knife carefully in my backpack and continued to shop. At the end of the day, my friends and I started heading back to the campsite. We were almost there when one of my friends told me that stuff was falling out of my backpack. I packed up what I had fallen out and stuffed it back inside. That's when I noticed the knife was missing. I gave my friends my pack and told them to go back to the campsite and start the campfire while I looked for the knife. Here's where the story starts. After a couple minutes of mild jogging and checking my trail for my knife, I noticed a woman and her kid walking towards me. I slowed down, planning to ask them if they'd seen my knife. Before I had even got a chance, I noticed a familiar shape in the kid's hands. It was dang near ecstatic. Then things went south. Let me scroll down a little bit. I stopped the two of them. You found my knife. Thank God. I've been looking for it forever. Well, maybe not forever, but what can I say? It sure felt like it. Entitled parent. I'm sorry? Me. The combat knife. I lost it while walking up the trail. I hadn't zipped my but at this point the woman cuts me off.
Well, it's your fault for losing it. It belongs to my son now.
In the moment, I probably looked dumbfounded. I had expected this woman to maybe laugh with me or have her kid hand the knife over. Not this. No, it belongs to me. I bought it.
And you also lost it. Finders keepers.
Me. I was astonished. How can a woman 3 times my age be so childish? Finders keepers is a thing kindergartners say. It's not a real thing.
Too bad for you. You lost it, so now it's my son's.
Entitled kid. This kid was maybe around 8 to 10 years old with absolutely no experience of how to hold a knife. He didn't even seem to notice that I was there. Instead, he was fixated on pulling the knife out of the sheath, which was held in some twine tied in a knot. Me getting angry, I decided to make my knife for the grab. I decided to make a grab for the knife. The kid was unfortunately faster and backed up. Then the woman had the freaking nerve to slap me. Don't you dare touch my kid, you little crap. You think you're so tough because you're older than him, and I won't bother writing all of what she said here, but let me assure you, it wasn't pretty. I think even a few racial slurs were thrown in there, even though we're both white. At this point, the kid manages to untie the knot and knife and pulls out of the sheath. I managed to see him out of the corner of my eye, just to see his his other hand rub against the blade. He instantly drops the knife and begins screaming, and he holds his bleeding thumb. Entitled parent. The parent turns to a child's aid, yet somehow continues to keep screaming at me. I once again go for my knife. This woman darts out and slaps me again. This is long, isn't it? Oh. And then, karma. Entitled parent. She blindly tries to grab the knife so I can't get to it. Little does she know that this knife is freaking sharp. I had already cut my hand before I bought it. So, in her blind grab, she wraps her whole hand around the blade. Once the steel bit into her hand, she threw the knife a few feet away. I rushed over to grab the knife and sheath. I decided I didn't want to have to deal with this woman any longer and ran. I did look back just to see the woman holding her bleeding palm and still shouting at me. A month later, I had cleaned the knife, engraved my grandfather's name into it, and gave it to him as a birthday gift. As well as the story that came with it. The knife sits on the mantle to its fireplace as a reminder to everyone out there, don't be, I can't say that because, I don't know how to edit, so even if I did say it, it'd still be in the video. So don't be this word. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. Alright. Let's see here. Any other ones? Entitled man tries to split me and my girlfriend on a plane. Nope. Anti-vax mom ruins her child's education. Entitled parent wants my friend and I to leave clothing store because of her breast size. What? Do not touch my dog without asking. FFS. What does that even mean? Your suicide attempt ruined my reputation. Alright. I'm not laughing at this, bro. This is serious. Suicide trigger warning. So please just keep this on Reddit. Please keep this on Reddit. So a little backstory. I've been struggling with depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, and PTSD for years. I used to live in a toxic home with a very entitled, abusive, and controlling mother. I was extremely depressed and I hated life. I had finally had enough, so I had finally had enough, so I tried to kill myself. Oh no. It didn't work, obviously, but I nearly died and was rushed to the hospital. When we got there, my mom was extremely worried about me, as any mother would be, or so I thought. But once I was admitted into the psych ward, that's when her entitlement came out. When I was there, I allowed an hour of visiting time every other day. My mother used this time to tell me how my suicide attempt made her look bad, and what my coworkers say when they find out my daughter tried to kill herself. And you doing this has made me look bad and look like a bad mother. And other things like that. My entire hospital stay my mother kept telling me that if I said anything bad about her, tell the truth, I could get her fired and ruin her career more than I already did. So being a scared 15-year-old, I lied and protected her when I was supposed to be healing. After I left the ward and was put into therapy, my mom talked to the therapist and said that her main concern were the lies that I had said about her. Not the fact that her kid tried to kill herself. No. She was more concerned about me telling people about the abuse, and making her look bad than her own kid trying to end her life. So she insisted on being there in the therapy session with me, and would often hijack the sessions and use them for herself. Or try to. I had an amazing therapist that would not take her BS, and they fought a fair few times. Not the classic entitlement story, but the fact that she thought her reputation was more important than my life and mental health really pees me off, even to this day. This was 4 years ago, and I'm in a much better place now. I moved out the next year, and now I'm and am now thriving. Well, good for you. Good for you. TLDR. Mother is more concerned about her interpretation in your daughter's life and mental well-being. Edit 1. I'm now living on my own in a different state than my entitled mother. In Edit 2. We're still in contact and things are going a lot better now. I have set boundaries with her and she has respected them. Her life hasn't been the greatest and me moving out kind of was a brutal wake-up call for her, as she fought and tried to manipulate me and others to get me to come home, but slowly she let go and stopped. Now we see each other on my terms. Well, good for you. I'm glad you just overcame that. Good for you. Alright, we're gonna read just one more. Update. Your dog could have killed my children even if they were trespassing. No, I will not give you my painting. I'm gonna do this one. Hi, I'm back. This is an update on this story I uploaded about a week ago. Me. So this happened yesterday and I thought I would tell you about it. Me. No idea who that is. Girlfriend. Me. No idea who that is. Wow. Entitled Mom and Kid. Okay. So me and my girlfriend were at Walmart to get some basic stuff, just to get us through until payday. My girlfriend was getting the stuff we wanted while I was admiring the guns they had on sale. Even though in America I'm not old enough to own one, in Bulgaria we had quite a few. My older brothers liked guns. And I was being reminded of home. Next thing I knew, my girlfriend was next to me. Girlfriend, that crazy mom is here. Me, the crazy mom. Oh crap, let's leave quick. Do you have all the stuff? Girlfriend, yeah. We heard over the checkout and groaned. There was 3 people in front of us, carts full. We were about to go for another checkout when who should step in line but the entitled mother and her poor kid. Now let me make this clear. We hadn't had any problems with his mom in days. In fact, we'd barely seen her. Her son is really nice and kind. He apologized for her previous outburst, so I do feel sorry for the kid. Anyway, we heard a tutting behind us and turned around to face her. She stood there, obviously annoyed with the lack of moving line, but she was looking directly at us, and then she was looking at my girlfriend up and down, tutting. At the time, my girlfriend was wearing a white dead meat hoodie and a miniskirt. Now, when I say miniskirt, I mean it was pretty short. It was pretty short. I liked it. Bro, what? Seeing as the entitled mom hadn't caused a problem yet, we ignored her until we gear this sneering comment. Entitled mom,
How is dressing that?
how is dressing that? I'm not gonna say it aloud. I didn't realize she had said it at first because having lived in England, I was more used to the word slag, but my girlfriend did, and she did not like it at all. I told her to ignore it, but she wasn't listening. She had turned around to confront entitled mom. Girlfriend, excuse me?
Oh look, the has himself a little girlfriend. Guess he isn't after all.
I actually took a step back. It seemed unbelievable to me that someone could be so antagonistic. The lady just in front of us turned around and looked at. She was about to say something, but turned away. The cashier looked like she was about to die, and I looked up with me me with pity. My girlfriend was speechless, but that was nothing compared to what she said next.
I bet you're only his girlfriend because he argued and now you're pregnant and you don't want him to leave you. That's why you're dressing so Ashley, so that another guy will swoop in and take you away.
What the? This mom sucks. That's it, I thought. I'm about to go to prison for snapping her neck. But then I noticed that kid was gone and took the opportunity to remove myself from the situation and look for him. As I left, I saw everyone in the line's face, a mix of shock and disgust. After I got a few aisles away, I found kid stood on his tiptoes trying to grab something off from the top shelf. I squatted down to his level. Hi there, what are you doing over here?
I don't like you when my mom yells, so I come over here to grab this.
You know, you shouldn't run off without telling your mom. What if something went wrong?
I guess.
At this point, I could hear the raised voices getting closer, but didn't register it. Me. How about we go back to your mom, huh?
Okay.
Me handing him $2. Get yourself some chocolate or something. Kid.
Thank you.
This is nice, I guess. He managed to get half of his hand onto the object he was grabbing, but pulled it off the shelf too hard. I yanked him out of the way as the object hit the ground where he was standing. I looked down and smiled at him before a shrill shriek broke the air. Entitled mom.
He's trying to kidnap my son. You cannot see he's holding my son.
Me, gently lowering the kid to the ground. No, he almost got hit by that toy. I stopped him.
Mom, oblivious lies. You are a child and an artist, and I'm calling the police.
Well, if you were a good mother and your kid wouldn't be in danger, you fat, filthy bee. I saw that the kid was uncomfortable and left until Mom stood there, gasping like a fish out of water. I rejoined my girlfriend who had paid and headed back to our car. The second we got in, my girlfriend hugged me and began sobbing. I drove home and put her to bed with some nice homemade soup. Well, that was a really good story. If you guys actually did enjoy this video of r/entitled parents, be sure to subscribe, like, whatever. You don't have to. It's a free country after all. There's a thing called voting. You can either vote not to or vote yes. But I upvoted this story because it's so good. So I'm glad you guys did enjoy. If you did, then yeah, just like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.